Hello, everybody. Thank you for watching SA Sociology Hub. My name is Thandeka and in today's episode, I am asking: Is education important? In a country where we're told education is the key to success, and 41.1% of um, people are unemployed, our answers would be different based on, firstly, the expectations that we had of education, right? Secondly, the realities that we are seeing. For instance, if by the end of my degree, or before, even before then, for instance, if I am pursuing education so that I can get a job, so that I can have money, and by the end of my degree, 2 years down the line, I'm still unemployed, my answer would be that education is not important because here I am, I'm unemployed. And so in today's episode, I would like for us to dissect education and its role in our society. What is education, right? And if you go on Google, you will find that the online dictionaries, one of the online dictionaries I found, or the first answer I found was that it's the process of receiving or giving systematic instruction, especially at a school or university. I like the systematic part because it says there is a purpose behind the instruction, right? However, I have a problem with two or three words in this definition, and it is instruction, it is school or university. And okay, so instruction connotes hierarchy. It says education can only be found via a hierarchy, right? Someone has to give this instruction, a systematic instruction, a purposeful instruction, which I agree in most cases at schools or universities, someone with more knowledge will tell you about what you want to do. And even in our communities, African communities, umuntu omdala nguye okunikeza wisdom or okunikeza, knowledge. Older people are said to have more knowledge, which is a given. But in this instance, I just have a problem with the fact that we think education is only in schools or university. So I went on to find a scholarly article. This is a book by Shazan, and they're talking about education and the meaning of education, right? So I'll share the reading down below in the description down below. And it says that education is the deliberate, systematic, and sustained effort to transmit, to provoke, or acquire knowledge, values, attitudes, skills, or sensibilities, as well as any learning that results from the effort. And this definition by Shazan is from Common Public Education. I like this definition because it doesn't restrict education to school or university. And I think in our culture, in South Africa, it is a thing. Abazali bethu bebengafundanga, so they'd say, go to school, uyofunda, ukwazi ufumana impilo engcono. And that's all there is. And I think for them, it's like, okay, for most of abantu bethu, abantu is that imfundo equals, a better way of living. But there's more to education than ukuyofumana that certificate. Yes, where economy is concerned in South Africa, education or getting a job or acquiring a degree is important for you to get a job. But my argument is that we can get education in so many avenues. So education happens in different venues, in different settings, and it can happen, the acquiring of knowledge is not just bound to school. And so abantu abadala, and so then, like, I think going back to that first definition of education, which said a purposeful or a systematic instruction, we need to question what purpose of the instruction are we getting or transferring, right? And so in most of our schools, we're receiving, or what is being transferred is the Western way of living, which then the Africanness, the South African culture gets lost in that sifunda about the theories and everything else. And yes, we do learn mostly about, I don't know, like we learn a lot about the Western men. Yes, we touch base on the Black African culture here and there, and then that's it. I think it would be so important for education to move beyond the school and now come to the family. Last week we talked about the role of family in society, and we talked about the role of family in the family, but also in education and how everything else is serving family. And so even with the education, I think it's important for us to not just outsource everything which is like the values, the way that our culture, our traditions, and just transfer everything to the school, hoping that isikolo sawufundisa umntana ukuba ngumuntu. You know, yeah, because there are so many people that have degrees, but do we have respect for umntomdala? Do we have respect for another person that doesn't have our own worldviews or our values or our knowledge system? Yeah. So my argument here is that we need to ask ourselves, okay, yes, there's this education that I'm getting. And I mean, our government is so clear in that they say, come get education so that you can get employed. And from there we have this expectation that by just going to school, everything else will be fine. But no, we need to find ourselves through education. Education is a means to being a better person, holistically, even outside of just career. So your value system, your your ideas, your work, everything else. And yeah, respect, growth, yeah. Let me not repeat myself. I noted this down about the whole education, right? Or our acquiring of knowledge. And this is a question I'd like to pose to you as well. Would you say that our education allows us to grow in different areas of our lives outside of our jobs or career aspirations? Secondly, would you say that you're acquiring different spaces that make you whole as an individual? So, are you pursuing, outside of blaming government, are you pursuing different avenues to acquire knowledge and so that you can make yourself whole? Because at the end of the day, we might change the education system and say, okay, now everything is about sexuality, you know, or everything else is about religion now. But it's still we are still not going to be whole because it's just feeding one part of who we are. And so I just want us to foster growth in different areas of our lives. And that is the main idea in this video. And if the reason why you're getting education is so that you can be employed and nothing more, and you find yourself employed today, then maybe your answer is yes, education is important, right? But if there is more to who you are and what you want in your life, and the reason to get education, then you need to ask yourself, in a family space, in the schools, via university, yes, I was able to form relationships. I was able to learn respect and value others. I was able to work towards my career aspirations. And my worldview is not really changing, but improving, or it's growing. Then, yes, you can say, yes, education is important. This is not about me, but I would just say that yes, education in its main reason is important. But if we only view education as just a means to an end, and the end is just getting a job, then education will not be important. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you think. Is education important? Do you agree? Do you not agree? And what else would you like to say? Please don't forget to comment, to share, and to subscribe to my videos. Thank you once again. I will see you next week. Bye.